Hey everyone, welcome to another little episode of our exploration. This is our new Facebook group, and I'm doing this with Jessica Sanders and Lisa Hetrick. And our group is growing, so come on over, join us over there. We do a color challenge every month, and for the month of March, our color challenge is going to be blue. Hi, I'm Kellie Chasse. I have full online classes and tutorials every month on my website at www.kellychasseffineart.com. So hey everyone, Kellie here. Welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, this is a place to be if you are an artist, a crafter, or just want to have fun. So let's dive into our blue project. We're going to be creating this gem. So for this demo, I thought I would grab my artist quality paints. This is my Winsor Newton one. It comes in this little tin. It's got this little thumb ring in there that you can hold. So if you're going plain air painting, you can easily take that with you. So it's got a tray up here for mixing. And then if you flip this over, you've got a second place to mix. And then you can see it's really messy, sorry. You can see that they actually will pop out. They have little tabs, little metal tabs across here, so you can mix and match and change out your colors if you want, or put them in an order that you like. So if you're working with florals or something and you always use the same types of colors or more pinks or more reds, you can always change these out and put them in. These are half pan size, and you can see you can pull this tray completely out. So I'm just going to move these tabs a little bit. I'm going to pull these little half pans out for you to see, and I want to show you that on the inside here, these little colors will actually tell you what they are. So if you're not sure what color you're using, especially with pans, if you pull them out, you can see the color is written right on the side. So for the first one here, this one is Cerulean Blue, and then the second one is French Ultra Blue. And then we have Prussian Blue and Winsor Blue. The last color we have is called Indigo. So those are all the colors that we're going to try out for blue today. I was going to go with just the light blues to begin with, but I really found that I needed all these colors to make this gem look the way I wanted it to. And I'll be using my little porcelain plate. I've been using my regular porcelain plates, but I really like this one. This one's I got off of Amazon, but it's got the little separators in here, so my colors don't all mix in together. So this one has 7 little spots on here that you can mix in or use that center area to blend things together a little bit more. So I also have a printable PDF sketch if you would like that. You can just let me know down below. I have a link for you to fill out and you can grab that free download. So when you're working with watercolor, you don't want to have a lot of those pencil lines. So I just grab my polymer eraser, a white one, and just lighten up those lines so I can barely see them. That way they won't show through some of my more transparent shades of blue that I'll be using. Another great tip is to use a watercolor pencil. And when you add the water to it, those pencil lines will blend. So if you don't want to see any sharp lines, watercolor pencils are great because you can just blend them right in. I am grabbing my nice oval wash brush. It's a size 3 1/4, and I'm just adding water to each color and getting a nice little puddle in my paint palette. And that way I am ready to go. You'll also notice I have 2 glasses of water. I have one for rinsing, and then I have my clean water. So when I go to switch out my color so they don't all blend in together, I'll use the clean water. Now you may notice, I'm not going to promise, but I may get that clean water dirty. I do it all the time. That's why I don't have my coffee usually right beside me when I'm painting. So I'm going to start with the color Cobalt. Nope. I'm going to start with the color Cerulean. I'm going to work my way around my paint palette using all these different shades. And it doesn't really matter where you place things because if you're looking at a gem, it reflects that light in so many different areas. So it's always going to look different. So I'm just trying not to put the same colors side by side as I work my way around. I had a little bit of purple in there. So I forgot to clean my brush. See, it's very important to clean your brush if you don't want those other colors in there. It's actually a really pretty shade that it made though. So I'm going to go through and just fill these in using my little micro brush pen, and I do have a YouTube video on that as well, and I will leave you guys a link in the description box if you want to check out these little brushes. So it's very hard to actually get those straight lines, and I could have used masking fluid around the edges of this, but I am doing it freehand. And you'll notice it's not perfect. I don't have these lines in here perfect. And when you look at the sketch, I did it freehand basically. So you'll notice it's not perfect. What I do recommend, and what I did once I had my copy of my printout, I took a ruler and just sharpened up those edges before I started painting, just to help make it a little bit more straight. So as you can see, I am just filling it in. I'm sorry I didn't catch some of the little portions on the bottom here as I started turning it around, because I noticed that I couldn't see. my eyes are getting bad. I think I'm gonna need new glasses. I might need some bifocals or trifocals. I don't know, but they're going. My eyes are going on me. I have to move things back and forth now to see them. Oh well, that's okay. So keep going, keep filling these out, mix and matching. So I have to admit, I do like all of these blues. I think actually my favorite color is the French Ultra. So it has more of that almost like a purple hue to it. It's really pretty. And then I would say my next one would be the darker indigo. But I really like all of these shades. And when you do yours, you can even throw a little bit of green in there, tint it a little bit, or even red to make it more purple. That would be really pretty. I was trying just to stay with just the blue shades. And, you could always mix up the 5 shades to make another color as well. We usually think blues are more of that cooler color, but even in these shades, you have some more warmer tones of blue and cooler tones of blue. So it's really fun to mix and match them and see how they work together. This one's really dark. So I started adding less water to a few of the pigments as I started to go along. So I just didn't feel like it was quite dark enough in some of the areas. I wanted just a few little touches of that real deep shade. So I did not add much water to the pigment. And you can see how much darker that is. Isn't that amazing? So you can always do your color charts. We've been doing color charts all along, so I didn't add it to this one, but it's always nice to see a color chart before you begin. And that way you have an idea of what all of those shades are going to do for you when you add more water or less water to each one of those. You will notice one other thing that I'm doing. I'm making sure that when I go into the next section, I am painting an area next to a dry area so they don't bleed into one another. Now, I thought to myself when I first started this project, oh, this is going to be quick. This will be like a little 15-minute short video. But because there's so many different little squares in here and the precision you have to have because there's such small spaces, it took me over, I think it was like 40 minutes in total to do this one. So this is actually a much slower process because there's a lot of little details in here. So think of it this way. When you're creating, the more details you have, obviously the longer it's going to take you. And some people will start with a very loose and watery type of watercolor. And for me, that's what I usually start with. And then I get into the details after a few layers or a few washes. So I'm working on a poppy class right now. And I'll tell you, when I do the loose and airy really quickly, 10 to 15 minutes for a quick flower, and then I go to do something more detailed and it's even smaller, like I did a poppy bud. That one took me over 40 minutes to do. So, it's so funny with watercolor because some things look fine when you just do a very light, loose wash, and other things you just feel like you need more layers on. So this one, I just felt like I needed a little bit of white in there. So I'm using some white gouache just to give a little highlight, a little sparkle in here. So like the light's reflecting off. It's a gem, so we want a little sparkle in there, right? So white gouache works really well. A key to using gouache is not to go over an area multiple times. As you wet the area, some of that blue will come up through. So you'll see that I'm often wiping off my brush, rinsing it out, and going back into that white gouache because I don't want to pick up a lot of the color underneath. Now, some of the areas it looks nice because you're getting another shade of blue doing it that way as well. So once I finished this up, I just felt it still looked a little flat to me. So I went back in and I did a little dark border around the edge of it. And then I added a little bit of white gouache on one side. So it gave a little bit of an illusion that it was more lifted off to the page. And this is a good time to point out when I put the gouache down right on the edge here, you'll notice I'm going to use more of a scrubbing motion here with just some clean water. I'm going to get that a little bit wet, so I'm going to pull up some of that blue into the gouache. You'll see I get a really very pretty light blue. I'm just blending that out just a little bit more. And you can really see how gouache will pick up those other pigments that are right alongside it. So especially when it's wet, you can see I can blend this right down in. So on this side, I'm just rinse my brush off and I'm just going in with some water this time, no gouache. And I just want to lighten up or smooth that edge just a little bit on this side so it gives the appearance of a darker shadow on this side. And there we have it, really simple to create a nice little shadow on both of those sides. One's a little bit darker and one's a little bit lighter to have that illusion of light and dark. So thanks so much for joining me. Make sure to click that like and share button, and don't forget to check out Lisa's and Jessica's tutorial this week as well. I'll link it down here below for you as well as on top, and you can also check out their YouTube channels. I also have a wait list for the new Poppy class coming up with watercolors, and if you are interested in this little free mini download and video, you can sign up. I'll put the link in the description box below for you. So we will see you next time. Bye-bye.